Hi friends, Renee Keys here with Carolina Creative. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here with card making ideas for you. Today I'm back to playing with Impressions of Bloom. And this suite has stamps, and I'm going to use some of the sentiment stamps and dies. And I'm going to use 2 of the dies out of this set. As soon as I flip my camera down, you're going to see the rest of the dies. I'm pairing it up with the In Color paper, the Designer Series paper. Now there is a suite that comes with this, and it includes paper. I was just going to mix it up today and try something different, and you'll kind of see what I'm going for in here in a second. I'm going to do my die cutting first. But now you can see these are some of the dies that come with this suite. And so you can punch out flowers and leaves and things, but I've got 2 pieces particular that I wanted to die cut today. And one is this leaf pattern. So I am using Secret C, one of the new In Colors. And I'm just going to make my standard sandwich. There we go. And put the plate on top and run this through my cutting and embossing machine like that. And now I will have, here we go. This goes out of my way to be put back on the table momentarily. And the piece dropped out, so that must mean it is stuck to the plate. Yes, look at that. I didn't even see it. And that's a good thing to happen. This has a lot of texture in the leaves. Let me just gently, I'm looking at all this texture, and I'm afraid if I pull too hard, it will just destroy these cuts. Nope, it's coming up nice. There we go. So there is my piece. All right, let me do a little bit of cutting. The other thing that I die cut was using this oval. You're going to see it here on my trimmer. I didn't want the whole oval, and so I had a scrap, and I really wanted to cut the oval and cut it in half, and this is a little less than half right there, but I'm using Cloud Cover, and this is Secret C, which is going to match up with what I've just die cut here. So I've got parts and pieces. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. Because this piece is 3 inches. So I'm going to mat it right on there. You've seen me do this a lot. And now I need to make this the same length. And so that should be 5 1/2. Sometimes I'll do this just to make sure. Yep, it should be the length of the card. And that's the direction that this is going to go. But this is some of the new paper with the new In Colors. Really pretty leaf pattern. And I like the stripes on the back. But let me show you what I had planned here. That should be it for the die cutting. I'm going to do a little peekaboo reveal because the inside also has some really fun, the back side has some fun pattern to it. So I want to, here we go. I wanted to say thanks on the front. Where did I put my little piece? Right here. And on the inside, it's going to, I'm going to add so very much. So it's a thanks so very much card. There we go. And then the word thanks will go on here. And because I've got this part of a piece, I need to put this at a nice jaunty angle because it won't fit straight across. And I'm okay with that. Now, the other trick I'm going to use today is, if you've been looking, you probably already figured out we can't get Cloud Cover ink. I've ordered my ink spot and my ink refill, so I will have ink soon. It just hasn't come yet. So what I'm going to do instead is just an old school trick. I've got my stamp is the stem and this detailed leaf, and I'm putting the stem at a bit of a curve. So the trick is to use your Stampin' Write marker, and you put the ink on it this way. Give it a huff to keep it moist, and stamp. So there's the first piece. And now I'm going to add some leaves. I'm going to do the same thing. Put some ink on. You can also put the ink on a block. You could spritz it and then transfer it to a stamp. So now the trick is, can I get it? And it, oh, I didn't Here we go. If you look at the paper, the leaves don't exactly attach to the stem, so I wasn't too concerned about getting it to line up completely. I want it to look, well, that one did. That was just lucky. There we go. And I think I'll do one more. I'm going to go with an even number, but that's okay. And if I look at these, a lot of them have even. There's 4s and 5s. So I've kind of made it match, but in a different color, you know, a different way. So that's the inside of my card. I think I'll go ahead and glue that in there, and that way that part is done. So dot this on, make sure I got the corners covered. Don't like my corners popping up or curling up. So thanks so very much. And, you know, kind of trying to match the leaf theme here. So now what I want to do is I want to do kind of a peekaboo reveal. And I'm going to get my bone folder here and fold a corner back like this. You can do as much or as little as you want. You know, I could go on corner to corner. I didn't want to go quite that far. I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive inside here to hold this down, like that. And then I think I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do it layer by layer. I'm going to put the mat down, and I'm going to center this on my card. Eyeball it until it looks like it's about right. All right, and now I'm going to adhere this, but isn't that a fun stripe? Oh, I think that's really cool. It's very textural. So I know I will be using that, and it'll be fun in the other colors too. This was just in Secret C, but it's very stunning in this dark with the contrast with the cloud cover. And it does hang over just a little bit. Again, you think you've got everything cut exactly the same, and sometimes you get a surprise. So I'm just going to snip the edge here and match it up. There we go. I can play with this later, but you get the idea. If you ever have that happen, it just takes a little snip. Okay, so now I'm going to put my sentiment. I think I'm going to overlap I'm going to overlap everything and tie it all together, and then I want my leaf to go on there. So that is my plan. Let me put my half, or really it's about 1/3 of an oval. So I'm kind of centering this. I'm almost centering this on the card, top to bottom. And then I'm going to dot glue on here because it will squish out, especially with all the textured dies, cuts and slices in here, which is what I love, but it definitely will ooze through there. Yep, there it went. Luckily, it's going to dry clear. And to even make that a little more camouflaged, if you will, I am just going to put a little Wink of Stella right on these leaves, and maybe a little bit on here too, so that all those leaves have that slight shimmer, as I like to call it. And then my last step is I'm going to get out my pearls. These are the In Color flat pearls. Oh, they're so pretty. And I think I'm going to put one down here on the side and put a medium-sized one up here and one over there. Just sprinkle them. That's all it takes. But I love how these are flat. These are much easier to mail. Sometimes you'll see that they're poking out in an envelope if you have the round pearls. I might, if I can slide that, they're okay, down just a little bit. Okay, so I do want to look at this to make sure I don't have a jagged edge here. There we go, where I was trimming. All right. Well, you saw how simple this was and how quickly it went together. Folded edge to reveal. the paper on the back side. Sometimes it's a hard decision, right? Which side of the paper do you use? And so this reveals what's on the back side. It's a leaf theme on this card. So it's very gender neutral. You know, you can be thanking anybody for anything. Thanks so very much. And then coordinated leaves on the inside. So that's my card tip for today. If you like the products and the projects you see here, you can find me at Carolina Creative, hashtag Carolina Creative, or I am on the Stampin' Up! Network. It's Renee Keese at Stampin'Up.net. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for the next video.